So today date is 29/06/2024. Let's have a recap. Last class, what you discussed? What topic we discussed last class? We have started Azure concept, right? And before that, we discussed
Groups.
Active Directory group concept, correct? All right. So we discussed Active Directory groups, and we discussed, Azure. We have started that is in begins, right? So in this CD group, we talked about type, scope, right? Type of the group. In the scope, we have that is in global group, domain local group, and universal. And you can use it for security and permission by using for security, right? And you have that is in universal. So we understood difference between of all these three. Scope, if you created a group, it's a distribution, not universal, right? So we know that is in, if we created a global and global security group, what is the meaning of that? Domain local security, what is the meaning of that? Universal and security, what is the meaning of that? Right? What is the definition of that? If you create a domain local and security, you can add a member, own domain, other domain members within a forest, as well as add a member from other forest. You can global security, you can add a members only from own domain. This is the difference between, you need to understand that, and well, requirement come to us and we can plan accordingly. So we discussed in Azure portal why we need Azure and what is the portal to be used it. HTTPS portal.azure.com, and we discussed about subscription to be start with a free account. Hope you everyone are created on free account subscription.
Yes, I have created, sir.
Good. And we should have that is in 30 days free.
28 days, not 30.
Yeah, when you start day, right, it will be considering that it will be give you 28 days free.
Let's see how much question I will get option. Maybe in the free version we will not get more option.
Correct. Right. You will not, you will have a, obviously it will have a limited, but it will give you some, to understand that what other services are there, right? And they will be giving for some limited usage, not for the fully subscription, right? Subscription.
We can upgrade if required. We can upgrade.
Yes. Right. After that, after free account can be changed to pay as you go. Okay. This is permanent, and whatever resource utilizing, it will be chargeable for you. Like for example, I am using for this my pay as you go account, portal.azure.com. So mine is pay as you go subscription, and whatever resource you are utilizing, it would be a chargeable, right? Series, this much is already created. When you go to this subscription, Okay, see this, pay as you go. Okay, this is a begin. Everyone should aware about how this Azure should work than on premises. So far we discussed on premises, right? Creating a domain controller, managing everything in a on premises servers. Now we are into the everything in the cloud. In cloud, when you open this cloud, what are the things we are going to managing? We discussed in our last class as a simple example how you wanted to, why, what are the benefit we are getting of this, right? Why we need a cloud? We need to have the more cost effective, high availability, easy support and maintain, and secure and safe, right? Instead of giving a more expensive or more money to the data, on premises, it would be physical location, server, network, power. It's a huge investment, right? So everything we need to take in care by using money. So a lot of money we are spending, right? But cloud has that is in multiple vendor. When you talk about the cloud, you have the multiple vendor, which is Microsoft has we call as Azure, Amazon we call as a AWS, GCP we call as a Google. So why we need to choose this Azure is it has a more requirement and good package as well as acquired across worldwide this product. Hence we need to learn for this Azure more, and also who are having knowledge on a product of Microsoft, then they can easy to learn on this cloud. That's what this AZ-800 made for the hybrid administration and hybrid. The certification name called is what? AZ-800 is a what is the AZ-800 certification name called? Hybrid cloud administering
Hybrid cloud, like it will involve
Windows Server
access and cloud as well.
hybrid cloud. When we talk about hybrid, it is combination of cloud and on-premise, right? So now so far we discussed on-premises environment. We would be talking about now cloud. That is called as a Azure. So in this Azure, as a part of this syllabus, we need to understand that we should be talking about. I will explain for the some little more detail on this Azure. You need to know that is in how Azure VM will going to create it, virtual machine. Azure storage is going to managing here, and Azure Active Directory how it's managing, and how it's going to be sync with on-prem AD. Okay, these are all we'll be talking about in Azure portal. But before that, we should understand that is in how to make network infrastructure. Okay, this additional you would need to understand this. Then only we can plan for this. Okay, network infra when you talk about, some basic fundamental knowledge on networking, correct? What is basic fundamental networking means what? Do you know the IP addresses, how it works? Do you know the subnetting, how it works? What is default subnet mask? Yes or no?
Yes.
Subnetting and CIDR. Do you everyone know this CIDR? It means how many network
IP range, I think.
can create.
IP range, no, right?
Each network, how many IP addresses are coming. That's a calculation.
Yeah, range.
Okay, IP addresses are connected. To know this, first you need to make to understanding this everything, then you would be able to handle it. The resource whatever you're going to create it under this infra, and some Azure terminology to should know that there is a called as a resource group, that is called as a subscription. Okay, any service or resource creating in Azure, you must provide you must provide subscription and resource group. So by default it would be a your is a free account, so mine is a pay as you go. Okay, the name I have given that is in IT, and this resource group kind of group of or OU kind of AD. So whatever the resource you are created, it should be belongs to one of the resource group. So later you wanted to manage to decommission or to deleting those resources, you can come and directly this resource group and you can delete it. Also administration point of view, resource group is mandatory to be selected. These two, subscription and resource group, these are all a terminology to create any of the resources in Azure. Okay, you will
What
become
what is the main role of this RG resource?
main role is now I need to administer. Okay, I need to administer. Administer means what? I
Like
need to
um,
restrict. Okay, I wanted to restrict, need to restrict, create a specific region, create a resource, specific region. I will give you this resource group. Okay, specific resource group to restrict, need to restrict. How you created OU in AD and OU you restricted for the applying the policy, and that will be restricted to the specific that OU, correct? Whoever on that OU, that OU object, the OU resource will be get apply the policy, correct?
correct.
Same things in Azure, in the resource group, you create a resource group. It might be you have that is in storage, you might be have a OVM, you might be have a network, right? So now I wanted to say, for example, I have given the resource group called as a BLR IT team. Okay, this is resource group name. So whatever resource you are creating, and you need to map with this BLR. The resource creating means what resource you are going to create. You might be creating network. Okay, you might be creating VM, might be creating storage in a Azure. Then you can define this. Now when you open the BLR IT, then you have the all the resources, right? Yes or no? Now when you manage or administer for this specific resource group, you can define this one of the example I gave you. And later I wanted to delete all these resources. Instead of going to the one by one, then I can go and directly delete this resource group one entire and automatically get deleted. And these two things are mandatory to give to that give means what? These two things are mandatory to create any resources. If you're not creating, if you're not selecting the resource group, it won't proceed further. You have to create resource group, depends on your naming convention, depends on the department or locations, you can create it. So ultimately we would need for the later administrator point of view. I wanted to access the role based access control. Whoever the resource group in this, those people should have access for creating a user, for creating a storage. I wanted to apply the policy So this resource group should have that is in access to do this all certain activity. Instead of going to the individual giving access, I would go with directly in a resource group. So two things are mandatory. One is subscription, you have to select it, and second one is resource group has to be selected. And I'll tell you, either you can create a resource group first and you can map it, or on fly also you can create a resource group while creating the resources. Two things. So now when we are talking about networking, right? How I need to create in Azure networking part. So before I directly talk about in a networking part, you should understand that is in first IP addresses. Do you know the what is the range of IP address? What is the classes of IP address? Everyone?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you tell me that is in what is the class A range IP address? What is the default
Starting,
subnet mask?
yeah, starting from 10 dot, yeah.
Starting from 10.
No, class A from 1 to 126, class B from 128 to 191, and then
191, yeah,
and
192.
C class 192 to 223, and D1 is like 224, and from 224 to 239,
So
and
last is we
remaining
would be using for the 224 because other than the two classes we will not be using which is scientific reserved, correct?
last one, yeah,
Class
correct.
class
Last,
B,
correct.
class C,
Yes.
right? This is the one we are using. D and E we are not going to use it, correct?
Yeah, that is for like
Scientific purpose.
multi-costing and all.
Yeah, that is used for the scientific purpose, right? 127 to 128 to
191,
191
191,
and 192 to
223.
223, right? Now, this is the last of IP address you would be using in this. And what is the default subnet mask of the class A?
225, 225. This one.
Not 225, right? Only 255 dot.
0, 0, yeah, correct.
255.0.0.0, yeah.
And the class B default subnet mask would be
255.255.0.0.
0, 0, 0.
class C. What would be the default subnet mask would be
3 times, yeah.
255.255.255, yeah.
triple 255, correct?
Mm.
Right. Now, what is the meaning of this? What is meaning of this?
Number of bits and networks it's supporting.
Like
Okay,
how many IP
Mm.
we can utilize.
I can say in a class A, how many network we are using
Mm.
default. In a class A,
How many computers?
how many
IPs.
host or
Host.
Yes.
IP address
Okay.
we are using. How do I calculate it? Based on what we need to calculate it. In this, you should have indicate for network, 0 indicate for host. Now class A, how many networks and how many hosts are there? Can tell me? In class A, how many network and how many hosts are there with this considering?
We
0.
have to multiply this 25, 25, 25.
Sorry?
We can use subnet calculator.
No, we can do it here only. We can do it subnet calculator, but to understand the concept, how do I define this? I said already, one
Yes,
indicate for
yes.
network, 0
Yeah,
indicate. Is there how
yeah.
many ones are there in uh,
Only once. First one.
ones are there in and how many?
Host.
Papa
Zeros.
ಹೊರಗರ್ತ ಹೊರಗರ್ತ How many? Yeah. Okay, how many zeros are there? How do I define it? How many ones are there in the class A? How do I define it? Can anyone tell me?
This first bit is once only. This rest is 255, 254 into 3. We have to multiply 255 to like this.
Now I have written here 255.0.0. Now tell me how many zeros are coming, how many ones are coming in this?
3 zeros are coming here.
Sure.
Mm.
So remember guys, we wanted to convert as a binary number, right?
Mm.
We wanted to convert in binary number. Then what is the IP address? What do you mean by IP address 4? IPv4. What do you mean by this? It's a
32,
8.
like
What is
8
it?
8
32-bit
byte.
IP address, right?
Mm.
Correct? And it's divided into 4 octet. Correct? And each octet 8 bits. Correct?
Yes.
Now I would be going to with this formula 32-bit. If I wanted to make 32-bit, how do I write in binary? 255. How do I write in binary? I would go with 8 ones, correct? And 8 0 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Is that right answer? 8 bit, 8 bit, 8 bit, 8 bit. 38 into 16 24 32. 32-bit IP address. It's a divide into 4 octet. Yes, 1 2 3 4 octet. Each octet 8 bits. Each octet 8 bits, correct? Now I wanted to calculate into this. I would be going to how the 255 is coming here. It should coming like that. It should coming like that. 1 2 4 8 16 32 64 128, right? And 0 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, correct? 3 4, right? 0 2. Now if you calculate all, if you calculate all, 1 1, what is the value of this? 1 1 1 1 1 1. What is the value of this? 128 plus 64, how much the value? 64 equal to 192 plus 32 equal to
224.
224 plus 16 equal to
240.
240 plus 8 equal to 248 plus 4 equal to 252 plus 2 equal to 254 plus 1 equal to 255. 7 8, correct? This is how we need to be understand the concept of the binary, converting a decimal number to binary. Now tell me, considering this calculation, how many networks are using, how many hosts are using now? There is a formula to use it. You should use with a 2 to the power of 2 to the power of network means what? Network equal to 2 to the power of how many ones are there? How many ones are there in
8.
class A?
8 ones.
8
8 ones.
equal to what is the value? And host equal 2 to the power of how many is
24.
24. So considering this value 2 to the power of 8 value is 256. It means in class A you would be using 256 network.
Networks.
Class A you will be using the host which is 24. How much? This many IP address you are using. This many IP addresses are using. Now that is the reason actually if you are actually using around 100 and 200 IP address, but if you are using the class A, how many IP addresses are losses? So keeping this in mind, you need to use you can properly plan for a network and use for how many network and how many IP addresses you need to use it, and accordingly you can plan for your infrastructure, right? And that is mainly while you creating infrastructure in cloud, you would be able to understand this concept, right? If I can I say like /8 for this? Yes or no?
Yeah, we can say.
Right? 8 indicate for what?
Network bits. Huh?
Network bits.
Correct.
So like this /16 /32 we are
Correct.
using, no?
Correct.
Same,
Correct.
right?
Now in coming to the class B, now again, what is the difference between here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 1, 0, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now 2 to the power of what is that network in a class B?
16.
2 to the power of
16.
16, right? 2 to the
Yeah.
power of 16. What is the value of this 2 to the power of 16? 65,536, correct? 65,536. In the class B, you will be getting network address connect 65,536, and also host also same, which is same number. Two to the power of 16, and result is same. Same things if I go to the class C, what is the value here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? And what is the same value of this here in the class C?
24.
Network is opposite of the class A. It would be a 24. You would be getting network is more,
Host is less.
host is less. And this is 8. This is 256. And I can say for this /24 here.
Right.
Okay, this is all we are coming to the default subnet mask, right? Default subnet mask we understood, and each subnet mask, how we can use it, network and host in this default. Now I would need to know that I need to use in my network, I'm going to use for only 256 IP address. Okay, and around network you can consider I need for the only 256 IP address, or you can say I need for the 325 IP address. I would need IP address needed. Find the default subnet mask for this requirement. How do you do this?
We have to take class B in this because class
Think.
class C also it's possible. Yes.
Class
Think.
A is also possible.
Class B, class C is also possible.
Now think about class A, class B. It is a number of IP addresses are coming. I would need exactly. I do not need a more IP address, but you tell me find the default subnet mask. Find the subnet mask for this requirement. Now if I go to the thing, okay, tell me now. Okay, /8 means what? How many networks are coming?
8 network.
No.
Like
/8 means what? Subnet mask would be
means,
255.0.0.0. Correct?
Yes.
correct.
Class 16 is 255.0.0.
255.00.
/24 means what? I can go with 255.255.255.0. This is a default one. We know this.
Yes.
I am asking here, I would need my IP address would be 325 means what would be the default subnet mask? I can use it.
First of all, I believe we need to decide which class we have to use. Okay. Class C also can use for this 325 IP addresses. Okay, first thing. Then second, how to get that subnet mask? That is 255.255.0.0 we can take. But exactly subnet mask we have to divide, that we need to see, sir.
Now I'll give you one hint. Okay. Now 256 IP address. 256 IP address you were using for /24. Correct? No, I said 325 IP address.
Yes.
How many slash you wanted to be increased? No. Okay, now see this. Okay, now instead of 325, use it. I need for 32. Sorry. Okay, 325 IP address. Now how do I use it here? So basically, now when you use 8 once, you got the 256. Correct?
Yes.
But
have
sorry,
to use
8
next
zeros when
one.
you got this 256 here. But
We have to use next one also.
so how do I use it here?
So
Say
here
for
we have to use
example, okay, I'll give one hint. Say for example, if I say /20, I'll give you, okay, the CIDR value. Find subnet mask and valid IP address can be used. Okay, can anyone try with this /20? You know this 8, 16, 24. I gave you the /20. Find the subnet mask and valid IP addresses can be used. How do I find it?
We are using like going to use like one more class, like one more bit left side. So it will be like 255 and 255 to 252.0.
Okay, now /16 is already, this is the value is coming, correct?
Yeah, class B. Yeah.
Yes, correct.
Okay, let me write this. This is /16. How do I write it here? In my binary, I would go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Correct? Now, how many numbers to be added to become a 20? Now 16 is there, right?
Another four. Another four.
Another 4. So can I go
Yes.
ahead with 1, 2, 3, 4?
Hmm.
Remaining zeros 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that correct?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Right. Now I would go with this 255. 255. What is the value of this?
128 plus 64.
64.
64.
64 plus 32.
32 plus
32 plus 16.
16.
So what is the value of this till 16 here? So value is
240.
240. So my subnet mask would be 240.0. I can say 240. How many IP addresses are coming here? How many IP addresses are, how many networks are coming here? Valid IP addresses are coming here. Now you got to know this, find the subnet mask. Yeah, we got no subnet mask. What is subnet mask here? 255.255.250.0 /20. That's correct. But what is the network IP networks are coming here? How many zeros are there? How many ones are there? 8, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So network is 2 to the power of 20. Correct?
Correct.
Calculate it. And the host IP addresses are 2 to the power of
12.
12.
12. What is the value of this 2 to the power of 12? 4096. 4096 IP addresses are coming. Again, I said I need for the 325 IP address only.
Yeah, that's what I was also thinking.
Now this is a more IP address. That's considering of this calculation. Can you make me that is 325 IP address and tell me that is in what would be the subnet? By considering in my network, I would need a 325 IP address, only this much, and find the subnet mask for this requirement. Now, when I say 325, how many should be 0? When I say 325, how many should be 0? It is not exact 325. You can make it little plus or minus, not minus. It is make little number of plus that can be possible. Now we can take this considerable, this calculation. Nearest number you can find it. 325 means what? Now it's already 256, correct? 255. How many numbers should be added to the another to reach this 325? So now already this is 0 indicates 2 to the power of 8. How many values coming here? What is the value? 256. So I can say 256 IP addresses are coming, correct?
Correct.
Now I need a 325. How many zeros you wanted to add to become a 325? If I go to the 2 to the power of 9, what is the value of this? So 512, that's fine. If I go to the 2 to the power of 10, it will be increasing. I don't need. So 2 to the power of 8 is less for me, but I can go ahead with the 2 to the power of 9. That's fine. 512 is coming nearest my number. So can I use it for that is 2 to the power of 9? The value would be 512. Then what is the subnet mask of this? If you use the zeros are 9, what would be the subnet mask we're going to use it? Should be 255, 255, 252 or
No.
4.0, correct? Yes or no? What is the value of the slash?
240 plus 16 plus 8.
16.
16 plus
Is correct? Slash 9 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 16, right? 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Okay, 3 plus 3, 7, 0. Dot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now value calculation is this. 255 dot 255. What is the value of this? Except last one. Except last one is
254.
correct.
Yeah.
So my subnet mask would be 254 and slash 9 is correct. Sorry, 254. So I can say slash 9 here.
Yes.
No, slash not slash 9
Slash
here.
9 is
It should
for
be a 20.
network, yeah.
It should be a 24 slash
23.
16, 23. Only 1 second, guys. I'm getting call. Okay. So now same things. If any requirement come to us, I would need for the lesser IP address. I would be
Can you
using.
repeat, Neil sir? Can you repeat from the top, please? From this question, yeah. Can you go up a little up?
Okay.
What was our requirement? 500 IP addresses. And how many network was our requirement?
So now first we asked for that is in. I have given that is in slash 20. Okay. I gave just only slash 20. We need to find that subnet mask and valid IP address can be used. How many and how many valid IP address can be used for in this? To slash 20 means what does it indicate? It's a network. 16 already used it, but 20 means how many more we need to add the ones? 4 more. So 8, 16 already there, and 4 more ones we have added, right?
Yes.
And remaining are zeros. So what is the value of this all 20 ones? 255 to 55. By default 16, 16. And next 4 is you need to calculate like that. 128 plus 64 plus 32 plus 6.
16, yes.
The value would be 240. And remaining are zeros. So now the value is come as a 20, correct? Now what is the range of IP address or valid IP address? How many valid IP address we are using? So the 0 indicate for 2 to the power of 12. 8
Yes.
plus 4. And what is the IP addresses are using?
4096 IP addresses we are getting.
Correct. In this same things I have gave that isn't. I need 325 IP addresses. So in this, how many network you are using? Find the subnet mask for this requirement. So 325 IP address by default when you use the /8 you would be getting 256.
Yes.
Okay. So how many ones you wanted to add to become a 525 325? So you made for the 9, it would go to the 512. But 512 is fine because it's we don't want to take lesser than 8, correct? Yes or no?
Okay, but one question, one small question. See, in the last bit, these are the 256, right? 255. Okay, 255 plus 1 we have to add like this, or but you are adding 2 to the power of 9 actually. That is, I'm just thinking about this.
Okay. Now, what is the 0 indicate for? Zero indicate.
Zero is for host, yeah.
Correct?
Hmm.
Now, how many zeros are there here?
9 zeros are there.
So, what is the value of 2 to the power of?
9. So
Correct?
that way we had decided. But I was just trying to add it 0 actually. Because
No.
255 plus 1 is 256. That's where I was thinking. Okay.
See here.
We have to
Every
multiply.
subnet you have a network and host. Correct?
Yes, yes.
Network indicate for ones, host indicate for 0. Network we have these many 24s and 2 to the power of 24 equal to this much.
Hmm.
Host, how many are there? 8, 2 to the power of 8 and this many host. Same things I gave you, that is in 325 IP address. 325 IP address belongs to /9.
Yes.
/9 is comes under 512. Within the range you would get it, correct? So now if I go to that is /9, what is not /9, 2 to the power of 9, because that 9 is a zeros number. So hence I put into that is in 2 to the power of 9, the value IP addresses are coming 512.
Okay.
Getting?
That's okay. Yeah, I got it that way.
Now same things in Azure. Now you got to know that is in what is the valid of subnet mask, how many IP addresses are coming when I give the slash, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now if I give you the /8, what would be the subnet mask? You can tell me immediately. 255.0.0.0.
Yes, sir.
If I tell you that is in 13/13, what would be the value?
That's 30.
Again, you need to add how many
Yes, we have to
ones you need to add here. 255, 8 is already there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I need to add for 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 0, 0, 0. 5 ones you need to add it. 0 dot dot 0, right? So how many, what is the value here? 255 dot, now 5 ones value is 128 plus 64, 192, 224, 240, 248, correct? Value is 248.0.0. If I tell you that /13, my subnet mask value is this is, correct? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
If I tell you that is in 18, what is the subnet mask value should be? Already you know the 16 value is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 16 is already there, right? 4,
Yes,
5, 6, 7, 8. How many ones you need to add it? 2 more. 1,
2
2.
more, yeah.
So remainings are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and dot 0, 0, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now value is 255 dot 255 dot
128 plus 64.
what is the value? 192 dot 0, right? So 255.255.192 equal to, it is /18. So again you need to calculate how many ones and how many networks are coming. Obviously 2 to the power of 18 and 2 to the power of
16.
no, 2 to the power of 8 plus 6, 14.
14.
Sorry. Okay, 14.
Right? So 2 to the power of 14 is a host, 2 to the power of 18 is a ones. Right?
Okay, now for example, if I need just 1000 IP addresses and 12 networks.
Now 1000, I just get it, 1000 IP addresses. Right?
1000 IP address. That's it.
Now 1000 IP addresses are belongs to coming here. Now already 2 to the power of 8. What is the value here? 512. Right? 2 to the power of 8 is 512. Correct? 2 to the power of 512.
That is 2 to the power of 9, sir. 9, sir.
9 is a 512. So what is the value of 2 to the power of 10? 2 to the power of 10 is
1000 plus something.
1000. That's fine. It's okay. My requirement is meeting. So 24 IPs are increasing. That's fine. So when I say 2 to the power of 10, how many zeros are you going to using like that? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It would be a 2 more user you need to be add. 0, 0. Now remainings are 1. So here it is. So now in this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? In this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right?
Okay, so the
Now
subnet mask
what
will
would be the value here? What is the subnet mask we're
255,
getting here?
255, and then
216, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, correct? 2 to the power of, now already you are using for 16, 6, 22, 2 to the power of /22, right? This is /22.
yes, sir.
Yes or no? What is the value here? 255 dot 255. What is the value of here? 190, 128 plus 64, 192, 192 plus 32, 224, 240, 248, 252, right? 252 is a subnet mask and 0. So you gave me the only IP address. You asked me, I need only 1000. Yes, this is a 1000 IP addresses. You will be getting 2 to the power of
10.
network is in this we would be getting for 2 to the power of 22, and host is which we needed for 2 to the power of 8.
So
Sorry,
from where we get this 22? Like 32 minus
This is /22.
no, here it is, no, 16 plus 6, correct? Once indicate, network once indicate 22, right?
8 plus 8, 16, 16
plus
and
6,
plus 6. Okay.
correct? And this is our 10. So now what is the value of this 10 here? 1024.
1000 something. Yeah.
Is that your requirement is meeting here?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, why we are going to understand this? When you creating a network in Azure, you would be able to know this. Okay, say for example, they will give you this way. Okay, entire network in Azure, which is called, you need to create for VNet in Azure first. You need to create a VNet, first design your network, which is called virtual network. Okay, and this is also called as in address space. Okay, for example, they will be giving a one range of IP address. This is my entire VNet. Okay, VNet, and they'll give you that is IP address 10.0.0.0/16. Okay, 10.0.0.0/16. In entire this, we need to create a multiple subnet. So this is your entire worldwide range of IP address. In this, I would be going to use my subnet 1, subnet 2, subnet 3. So for example, subnet 1 I would be using here subnet 1 because it's using 10/16. We have a lot of IP address, so I can use it 10.0.1.0/24. Subnet B 10.0.2.0/24. Subnet C 10.0.3.0/24. What is meaning of this? Now in this entire network, whole entire network, in one of the location, I would be creating a one subnet. So in this subnet, I said the address, network address using for 10.0.1.0/24. What do you mean by /24? What would be the default subnet mask? You would get it. Default subnet mask is, what is that? You use already for /24, correct? 255.255.0.0. Now, what would be the IP addresses you are getting here? So you said 255 means what is the 2 to the power of host IP address is? Host IP address is 2 to the power of 8. What is the value? 256. So in this network, I am getting a 256 IP address. Again, this is the range of IP 10.0. In entire network, 10.0.1.0, 2.0, 3.0. You can create a multiple subnetting in your actual network needed. So one of the network you would need for the more IP addresses, you can change the subnet. Right? You can change the subnet your IP address, because I said 325 or 1000 IP address. If I use 1000 IP address, what is the value we are getting here? Our subnet mask could be 255.255.192. What is the value of here? Slash 22. Instead of 24, you need to make it 22 here. So you make a 22, you would be getting 1000 plus IP address in the subnet. Getting or not? Say for example, let me go to the portal to how to create a network in azure.com, portal.azure.com, right? So this is, you should understand the very basic. Rather, I would go to the directly, creating resource and all these things. But the base, if you not understand this, and it will be a confusion for you, and you won't be able to understand whatever resource we are creating, right? There is service called as a VNet. To creating our own network, virtual network, the service called as a VNet. By default, there is service called as a VNet in Azure. So with the help of this VNet, you can go to this, just type in the search bar VNet, virtual network. Okay, I have already created you for the Az-800 resource group and the DC1 VNet I have created, one of the location, but I'm going to creating for you separately. Okay, create separate virtual network. Okay, as I said, any resource you are creating in the Azure, you would need to provide two things: subscription and resource group, right? Either you can create already created, you can select it, or you wanted to create on fly, you can create it. I wanted to create new on fly. I will say that is in okay, VNet for test. Okay, click okay, and then now it is asking you for virtual network name, right? This is VNet for AZ800 example. I'm giving you name of the VNet AZ800. Now region you can select, depends which area, which region you want to create your network, you can decide it, select it. I'm just now going to the testing purpose, I'll go to the Central India. Now go to the next. Now here, the next options, you can keep the security optionally. IP address is the most important. See this? Now default is giving you 10.0.0./16. So how many IP addresses are coming here? 65,536, right? Now I don't want to use this. I wanted to use a different one. That is also be possible. You can use it. As I gave you example here, /16. In this, I wanted to create a subnet. See this? You will have the default subnet. Now they have given for, now I don't want to use the default one. What I will do, let's delete this default one. Let's create a for the whole network. Okay, let's create for the default subnet mark later part. So I designed this way. Now only I created for the network VNet, which is the 10.0.0.16, right? So in this, I wanted to create my subnet. In this, I wanted to create my subnet. Okay, let's complete this. Now I have created for the empty. Okay, I have not created subnet. We would be going to create it later. And then once subnet is created, then you would be creating resources. That resource you would get IP address range with this within the IP subnet. Now see this, I have created VNet AZ800 for the network, virtual network, empty. And when you go to this, in this virtual network, okay, click on the settings, you would be able to see this. This is address space is for your range of IP address is given, correct? And when I go to the subnet, nothing is there, empty. Now I'm going to creating a subnet here under this VNet. I will give the name called as subnet first, subnet 1, and this range of IP address I'm going to select here 1.0/24/24. and add it. This is 10.0.1.0 1.0/24. So I am getting how many IP addresses are there? Actual IP addresses are coming 256, but in Azure, 4 IP addresses would be reserved by default. Okay, by default they will be taken for the 4 IP addresses would be reserved. See this 251 available at IP addresses are coming. Now I am going to creating another subnet in this range of address space. I will go to this subnet name, subnet B or subnet 2, and again I would go to the 2.0/24 2.0/24, add it. Okay, the second one subnet is 2.0/24. I have created one more subnet here, right? Under this my address space, 10.0, this is entire network, whole network. In this I am creating for my own subnet where I need to deploy the resources, each network, which is called subnet created. And now while deploying, your resource should decide belongs to which subnet I should be. Then you can choose one of them. Now I have a 2 subnet here, right? Say for example, I wanted to create a one resource. For example, one VM I wanted to create, and that VM should be belongs to subnet 1, right? So how do I create it? And if I created a VM here, what would be the IP address range I can get it here? If I create a one VM here, what would be the IP address range I can get it here? If I create a one more VM here, what would be the IP address range I can get it here? It should be getting 10.0.1. Next IP address. It should be getting
Something.
10.0.2. Next IP address,
So,
correct?
yes, something.
This is machine IP address should be 1. Next IP address, 2. Next IP address, correct? Yes or no?
Right, yes.
Right. Now let's go to this resource created. Go to the virtual VM, virtual machine. Okay, create virtual machine. Okay, now I have already created resource group. You can plan for the resource group here, which is test 1, and virtual machine name I can give VM1 example. Now you can select for the region. Central India already have taken for the resource group right here, and I can put the same one. I don't need anything. We'll talk about later when we're discussing for the VM topic, right? I'm going to installing operating system called 2019. Okay, go next. Keep the disk space and all default one. The most important here, networking. In this networking, I would be deciding to select my virtual network is this, and under this subnet I wanted to select subnet. You decide. There are 2 subnets are there in this virtual network. So do you want to deploy this VM to the either subnet 2 or subnet 1? If you decided is subnet 1, that IP address would come 10.0.1. Next IP address. If you selected it subnet 2, your IP address would come 10.0.2. Next IP address. Let's say this 10.1.0. Okay, next go and install it and see this. What is the IP addresses are you are getting in this VM?
So, sir, just first we need to create a VNet and subnet, then
Ah,
creating the virtual machine and all, like VMs
resource,
and all.
not
So,
only resource. Anything you wanted to create, you would be able to decide belongs to which network.
no, we need to select that
You need to
subnet.
correct. We need to select. Okay, what is that?
First, we
Okay.
need to have subscription, no, sir?
Obviously
Subscriptions
that
we
would be
have to create
subscription
in.
and resource group.
So we can decide subscription like email, email purpose, ERPs, file
That
server
is,
subscription like
see,
this. We can create separate,
right,
separate.
right. When you talk about subscription definition, that is email
Mm,
purpose and all. But by default,
mm,
you have a free account, you can use it, or
mm,
you have pay as you go, you can use it.
mm.
Okay, Neil, password was not given. Let's see this.
So here password and all we can customize it.
Yeah, you can customize it. Okay. Taken password, not taken. Okay. Next, see this. Verify this networking. This is my entire network, and this I have taken subnet, 1. Now just go and install it.
By default hard disk, how much we are getting, sir, in this virtual machine?
125
125 GB.
GB. Yeah.
For all virtual machines by default.
By default, yeah. You later you wanted to change, you can change it.
We can add it, huh?
You can add it. You can reduce it. Anything can we do that.
But for additional cost, I think we need to pay for storage purpose, right?
Yes,
Obviously,
yes.
obviously. Within when you created a free account, they were given for you some promo value around 12,000 Indian rupees. Okay.
Some points are given there.
The promo value they have given. Correct. So
Correct.
whatever you created resource, it would be a deducted from that value. Okay. Whatever you are creating within the free account, whatever resource you are getting created, that resource bill will be deducted existing your free account.
Yeah, points will start getting like
Deducting, right? Yes or no?
Right, yes.
Now, once it is your duration is expired, then whatever the remaining values are also become a 0.
Okay.
Right? Now later you have to go with your pay as you go, or you can take the pass, Azure pass. Depends. So ultimately you need to have a
So what
access.
is Azure Pass, sir?
That is give you temporary. You need to pay some 600, 700, and you will get within that amount to resource. You can use it instead of pay as you go. Sometime you're missing.
So
What
will be the duration of that Azure
you'll get
Pass?
1 month. 1 month. 1 month you can get it. 1 month.
But individual, how we can get that Azure Pass?
You can contact Amit. He will help you.
Amit, okay. Because my 1 month is expired actually.
Pass
So
you can take it instead of that pay as you go, guys. I would recommend.
okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now see.
We can extend pass as well, or
Yeah.
maybe 1 month.
Right. That you can do. That's what less amount you can use it. Even though sometime you put your resource to without forget something, and it won't be more loss. Okay, within that amount you would be getting. See this?
Right.
I'm getting this IP address is 10.0.1.4. Correct? Now same machine, if you another machines you are created in a different subnet, what would be the value? What would be the IP address here?
2 dot something.
10.0.2.4.
Yeah,
Right?
2 dot something. Yeah.
Correct. So if I created a machine here 10.0.2.4, and here I have created IP address would be 10.0.1.4. Correct? Yes or no?
Yes, right.
Understood this concept of the networking?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Now this is actually, it is not part of it, but before directly talk about in other resources, right? You would understand the fundamental first. Now you can do it. Now your entire resource, all the resource belongs to which network, how this network is created, this network subnet is belongs to which VNet. All you should be knowing these things is a very fundamental way, right? When you go to the
VNet is mostly the common, because we are going to deploy all the machine and infrastructure in that particular VNet, right?
it's a base, right? It's a base.
Basic
See,
we have to understand properly.
see this side 2 VNet I created, right? So DC VNet I created here for you guys for the earlier. I have used for this is 10.0.16. 10.1.0.16 I used it, right? And this is IP address was using for this is 10.0.0.0/16. See this?
Sir, once we have made it, we will not be able to change, right? Address space.
No, you cannot change it. This is you once you are done with done. That's it. Okay, you cannot see when you go to this. That's what you need to carefully you can do it, because in this other IP address range already created, right? And if you change it, it won't be, it will be impact for everyone. Getting? So you cannot change it once it is created. So I had told for the design, another point is resource group, right? Say resource group I have created here. Okay, what is the resource group I created here? Resource group is
IT something.
okay. Now this is we need test, correct? Now this resource group, what are those here? I have a VNet, I have VM1 and all. What I will do, I will directly take this resource group,
Okay.
copy this, I will delete this entire resource group.
So every VM and
Everything
VNet.
is get cleaned up. Everything. Your subnet get cleaned up, VNet is get cleaned up, VM get cleaned up, everything is get deleted. This is the purpose you need to have a VNet test. I mean, resource group to be created under the one resource group. Now, what in under this resource group, what I have created? I have created subnet, I have created VNet, I have created VM. 3 resources we created, right? And in the VM, automatically you would have the storage, you have IP addresses, you have networking, all resources will be get created.
Yeah,
Those,
so basically, sir, this RJ is like a OU from Microsoft.
on
Microsoft,
it's understanding logically, it should be a kind of OU, not
a kind of
exactly
OU
OU.
from the not
For,
exactly, but kind of one bucket of all the resources and all provided from the Microsoft, right?
correct. That's Microsoft only, right here.
We can restrict this as well. Do not delete something.
That can be done for by using.
Because in real scenarios, if that gets deleted, means all virtual machines,
Correct.
everything will be deleted. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to
When you become a
keep it
Azure
safe.
administration, guys, you would be have handle now. So far you did for an on-premise administrator, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now you'll be
Yes,
doing for
yes.
everything in Azure cloud. The whatever questions asking, everything is done by in a cloud. That's what you are become a cloud administrator.
Yeah.
Right, these are all requirement will come. Right now I wanted to go with a specific region, I wanted to go with a specific configuration, so I don't want to give anyone for the access for to these resources. When you have a knowledge on concept of the cloud, then you will be become a cloud administrator.
Now, most of the new companies, whichever setting up now, so instead of setting up their on-premise, they are directly setting up on the cloud itself.
Correct.
Right, sir?
That's what to everyone should
But
learn.
how they will communicate internal resources with the cloud? Then they have to some gateway we have to install.
Yeah, that's this AD connect would be I mean networking
But
on
AD is required, no? At the end,
AD
AD
would
is
be AD would be
on-premise people AD will use, and that AD will be connected to the cloud.
Connect cloud, and you can plan for the AD object to sync with an Azure Active Directory. And you are using the Office 65, you are using for Teams, those users should be connected. That is all we'll talk about. Upcoming classes would be how do you connect from the on-premise AD to Azure AD.
Okay.
These are all things can be.
And backups is also covered in this way, sir?
Yes, but backup not in a syllabus, but I'll help you that how to take a backup in Azure.
Okay.
So in Azure,
storage, right, sir?
the storage is different. The backup is different. You have in a cloud, right? There is three topics are there. What is that? Virtual machine, storage, okay, and Azure Active Directory. So under this, we would be having multiple, all divided it. But backup is not there, and VNet is whatever we discussed, right? This is not there. But I can explain you for this all. This is for before I talk about this directly in Azure, right? I thought this. Let's understand the network first. Okay, IP address. And
this is really good, sir. IP addressing the way you have explained, no?
VNet and subnet, and then you would be able to whatever resource group and all you are created, right? It would be easy to understand you. Now, if I take your next class directly, okay, we are creating a storage, we are creating VM, then you will ask, okay, which region and which VNet, which subnet, then you would be able to understand easily.
Yes.
So, sir, Azure AD like the same whatever we are doing on premises.
No,
the same thing we can do in
no,
AD.
no, we'll discuss. It's a little different. The process will be using different, and authentications is using different. We'll talk about.
Sir, one more question. One more question. When we are designing this IP addressing, usually, for example, we think like 500 IP we required. Then we'll think that okay, 500 is not possible in class C, so let's go to class B. Like that, we have to think, or how we have to.
You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. But what's happening? You need to coordinate with the network team first. We will not be going to decide all the IP address and RAN, right? We are a cloud administrator. Now there is a designed and network team would be available, and they'll be planning for that. right? And they will tell us, please create a virtual network with this range of IP address and these many, IP addresses we would need it. So then what you are going to do, you will be coming to the network via an Azure portal, and you would be whatever they have given the requirement, right? Given the requirement, you will be creating VNet and you will be creating IP address range. Because
Yeah,
backend they
VNet
must
is
be created all these things. That is important.
So this will be created by Microsoft Azure team, VNet and all.
Already, no. We need to create our requirement.
VNet, yeah, we
No,
have to create VNet, but IP addressing they will give.
Already IP addresses, everything is available from the Microsoft only.
Available,
They have
yeah.
already reserved for all these things.
Okay.
That is
once we decide that subnet, the IP address automatically shows there as per creating.
Correct. That's I shown you right here.
Yeah.
So when you create a virtual network, automatically they will give these many IP address range I have. Use it whichever you want, right? And also that information is given by network team also, right? Now see this. I refreshed here. Now it's gone for your, what is that?
Virtual machine,
Everything and the resource group. Now if you go to the resource group now, you would be able to see only one resource group. See, your VNet is gone. Now when you go to the VNet, now you would be able to see only one VNet, which is earlier I have created. See this? It's a simple when you understood the concept clearly. It is difficult if you not understood the concept clearly. Journey started, cloud, understood, getting.
Yes.
Good. Okay. This is you've seen for the first time or what? All these things in portal, configurations, creating.
This network part the first time, but VMs and all I have created. But
good.
the range of like IP address, everything was like I
New.
taken it by default because it was like publicly just for practical purpose I has created.
Very good.
But the customized purpose I never did that.
Okay, now you did it, right?
Yes.
Good. Same things for other technology also, even AWS and all, same things. But you should aware about what kind of network we are creating. And one VNet we created, under this, how many subnet can be created? That is decided by network team, and we can create automatically accordingly that we can create it.
Sir, one more question. Like last time we are like applying premises GPU, the software installation, right? It was not happening, like it was not getting installed automatically from the GPU. So yesterday I had like configure the GPU and all. So if I apply that GPU on OU, it's automatically get installed. When I try to apply on complete domain, it was not getting installed automatically.
See, there is a two things. When you wanted to automatic install, you should be computer configuration.
Yes, I did that. Computer configuration software and everything I did that. When I have applied on OU directly, that link that GPU with the OU automatically get installed.
Okay.
When I link that GPU with complete domain like test.com, something like that, it was not getting installed automatically.
It should see when you apply the domain means only computer configuration, not everyone, right? Domain, how many computers are there? Test machine, test environment, right?
3 machines are there like that.
This all 3 machines must be if you link the policy into the domain wide, it must be it must be applied to all the 3 computers. It should be. If it is already deployed in a OU level, then you are.
It is happening. OU level within second it was get installed.
No, this is not nothing different in OU level and domain level. You will get it. You can do one thing: remove one of the computer from that OU, okay, and you can deploy for the domain, and it should be get updated. You should be get updated.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So what else?
No, nothing from my side.
So today we will wind up now. So I just wanted to give you, rather than taking more on, Azure part, right? So just to begin with this journey. We last class we discussed about portal subscription and account, right? Now today we discussed about how do we start create our resource group and everything, portal, virtual network, IP addresses, how do you create our own network. So that's it, right? Now next we will talk about resources, which is VM, virtual, storage, and Azure AD. How do you sync with on-premise Active Directory? We will talk about.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Good to go.
Yes, sir.
Chalo guys,
Okay,
Yes.
take care,
thank you.
and
Thanks.
I'll share a recorded session. A record session will get it, but this today's session I'll share you later part.
Please. Okay, thank you,
Bye.
sir.
Yes.
Bye.